What's going on, everyone? What's up? What's up? Let's get a little DD2 action going here. I don't have, gonna have to go with in-game music today. I don't have my music stuff all copied over to the new PC yet. I will get that done tonight. Anyway, in need of some clusters, so wanted to get a little cluster grind going. See if old homie's got anything for me this morning. What you got, dude? Why'd the music stop? Huh, that is so weird. He triggered a music stop. Huh. Very strange. That's something buggy. Alright, well, let's see what's in the box, and we'll just queue it up. That's 3 days in a row with Defender packs. So, people were asking if you're still able to get Defender packs. Now, all I've gotten is green ones. But that is... Oh, there's the music again, but it's super low now. That's so weird. Is it my... Huh, no clue. Let's just hop into a map. I'm not sure what's going on with the sound here. Anyway, what's up, Pest Chow, Russ Bus? Obama is your son? Grats. Salty McTavish, how's it going? So I'm on US West, y'all. Anybody that wants to join, feel free to hop on in, but just going to be kind of chilling and grinding out some clusters here. So I think Unholy Catacombs are the place. US West there, Jamie. Just going to queue it up. There's not that many matches there, so you guys will be able to find me. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? How is, is today Thursday? How is Thursday? It is Thursday, right? Yeah, it is. What's the best way to level up with the pets? Well, they level per wave, or not every wave. A certain amount of waves gets them a level. It's not tied to XP, but the easiest way is just to use the pet affection boosters if you have them. Would definitely be the easiest way. Let's see. What do I have destructive on? I got it there. I actually could move it over to here, huh? Let's do that. Let's put another destructive over here for the time being. Have I had my game crash ever? Well, of course I've had my game crash. One thing about Dungeon Defenders is the game runs like shit. Dungeon Defenders 2 is like spaghetti code mess. And the game runs, but it does not run good. Dungeon Defenders Awakened runs really good. I'm glad they were able to get that dialed in for the new game anyway. What's going on there, Murphy? How you doing? Waiting for the update for PS4. It's not really that many changes. Like, a lot of people are really just up in arms about it all, but I mean, all you gotta do is move a couple things around. It's not, you don't even have to move around that much. You know, there is no, you have to redo all your defenses and all that. That's not a thing. You know, I mean, that was proven right on first day by some of the high Onslaught grinders like Rexo. He did, you know, their regular old anti-mod setups. They were able to do like floor 970 or 980 or something like that. Oh, the music kicks in now. Holy crap. Let's bring that down a notch. Good lord. What's going on there, boing boing? Sith Phil, what's up, what's up? How's things today? Life is good there, Manir. How do expeditions benefit? That's where you get all your crafting materials from. That's where the majority of loot, gold, and XP comes from. Expeditions are where you grind. Expeditions are life. Expeditions are love. There's no reason to do Onslaught unless you're doing HP power resets. That's the only reason to do the game mode. The loot is not as abundant. The XP stinks. The gold stinks because the loot stinks. And the crafting materials, you can't target farm the crafting materials, you know? Works fine above 100 frames per second. I'm getting a good frame rate right now, but I mean that has nothing to do with the game crashing and everything. Here's Rexo right there. The cluster grind is real. Mia, what's up? What's up? How you doing? I need to get another DPS hero leveled up. I'm thinking I'm going to do the gun wedge. I mean, besides the fact that she's just absurdly fun to play, she's pretty mean still, you know? Oh, it's all good there. Great emoji. Thanks for watching. Waiting in the train. Fair enough. The bees are pretty debatable. The only change with the bees is before only 3 bees could attack a target, and now 6 bees could attack a target. People are saying that they think that it causes even more issues with the bad AI. See, the thing with bees is bees attack the furthest target in their range. All they would have to do is change bees to attack closest to core, and they would be glorious. But they're not. They attack the furthest from their range. So that's where the targeting issue comes in, you know? Slime's got that self-ignite going right now, though. You definitely want to fit that in. I have crowns. I don't know what you mean there, dang. You mean those stupid mastery crowns? Is that what you're talking about? What's going on there, Omni? Fazzy, you're banned. What'd you get banned for? That sucks. Nigiri, what's up, what's up? I was gonna grind some DDA today instead, but I kind of want to, gonna just grind up some clusters here today, and then later on in the afternoon I'm gonna switch over to Twitch and get my Diablo 3 season going. The Deadly Strike Shard will expand the tree range. Of course, Vicious Strikes will as well. Well, I mean, they weren't places. It was the top 10 gets a crown. They're all the same. There's not a first place crown, second place crown, etc. How good Drakenfrost still is? As far as XP, it's the map. Or did the XP get nerfed? Nah, the XP should still be good. I haven't done it since the update, to be honest. I've been doing either Betsy or just grinding for clusters, trying to get my stuff leveled back up. Oh, Frostfire? Frostfire's still good. Grave Infection got nerfed. Frostfire's working fine. If a bee is inactive, it attacks the first enemy that enters its range. I couldn't agree more there, Mia. Well, I mean, if there's enemies within the range and you're not above the 6 target limit, then no bees should be inactive. No, I'm going to grind some Diablo 3 later today there, Rixa. I'm just getting me some clusters today. And then going to get my Diablo 3 season going. I'm way late. I was able to get the power level. That's plus. I'm up to the point where I can do like GR 75s, but I got a long way to go. I just got my Bane of the Trapped gem late last night. It's like that thing was elusive, you know? Gonna catch your PC account up for whenever you get cross save. That's fair. Nagiri's playing DDA every day. He grinding. I need to get back to it too. I still need. I mean, none of my stuff in DDA is fine tuned. I've got good basic setups of everything, but none of it is really fine tuned stuff. Having trouble soloing Rift Summit? I can show you the build I'm using. I was gonna do some of that today. I got a really good stat stick last night. It actually isn't as good as some of the other stat sticks I got, but I do have a stat stick. I got a non-rifted stat stick last night. I actually don't even need it. I was going to just save it for when trading hits to give away to somebody. I'm using Shocking, or I'm using Storm and that Water Elemental Shard right now. What I've been using for like Betsy is I've been forcing the Weapon Mans. I've been using just a Poison Servo, no Stunning Revelations at all, and then having an Earth Proton through the lane. Which it would, you know, obviously, you're not getting any greater benefit than you would be if you were using a Poison Proton and an Earth Proton. But I just really think the Weapon Mans look cool. I mean, I haven't used them in so long. I've been forcing them kind of on every build just because I want to use them. That little digitized effect, I just think it looks badass. I don't know. Well, I mean, I personally would get the EV, but I'm very biased. It's one of my favorite heroes. Well, a town hub would mean server side there, Nagiri, and then it loses all of those benefits. I'm excited to see when the updates hit. What's going on, Henry? How you doing? A rainbow skin on the Weapon Man. I'm wondering how well it would come through. Oh, feels too disconnected in solo. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that's the only thing in DD2 that gets it, is that town hub. If you look at the matchmaking, nobody's doing public matches in DD2. Like, you can combine all 3 servers, and it's not as many games that are even listed publicly in DD1 right now, you know. But I hear ya, I hear ya. Place to give it a little bit more of a an MMO type element. Diabolical, what's up, man? How's things? Yeah, the update, I've been putting all the videos up on the channel about. This might be my worst decision. Things are well, work is busy. That's fair. She's been playing that Evil Genius too. I still need to play that too. I've got it. The game looks awesome. I haven't played it at all, but I saw DD's been playing a little of that Evil Genius. No, the All Heroes pack. I don't think that All Heroes pack is going to be temporary. That's the biggest cash grab on the update. I think that's probably doing really well. New players are probably flocking to that. How much is it even? I wonder. Well, let me look at it here. Heating are all here. 3,200 gems. Woo! I mean, for all of them, though, you know. My favorites are the Eevee and Monk. Yeah, tons and tons of people have the new pet now, GRI. Hell, Rexo there, I think it's got 3 or 4 of them. The normal shard price was jacked up, huh? Yeah. It's a cash grab, y'all. I mean, it's an old free-to-play game that hasn't been updated in 2 years. Why would you update it now? You don't update it because people were saying, give us an update. They updated it to get some money. So, I mean, it's a business. They gotta make a living, you know? But, yeah. That price going up was a bit of a sting. It's because people buy them, you know? If people are buying them and they think that people are going to keep buying them and paying more, yeah, asking anything on dev streams, unless it's something directly involved with the topic at hand, is you're not going to get what you're looking for there. I tell you what, though, this new machine. How's the stream look? I didn't even ask. Does the video and audio and everything sound about right? Does anything look out of whack at all? I'm streaming at 1500 bit rate over what Twitch will even allow. Like, Twitch caps at 6K. And I'm streaming at 7500 to YouTube right now. And I got room to play. I could go up further, but I'm just wondering how much of that quality will actually transpire at 60 frames. You know? Like, on my screen, the game's running 100 plus frames. What's going on there, Miroslav? Well, that's what I mean. That's what I was saying, just as a reference. I'm streaming. YouTube will let you go up to 15K. Twitch caps it at 6K. But I was just saying it as a reference. It The mic's not quite right. Yeah, I still need to get adjusted up. I just installed the Shure microphone drivers like 15 minutes before the stream started, so I'm sure it's probably not quite right. The Shadow Flame Mystic is just a meme build, really, Red Rayo. It's not a build you're going to want to use in a real climb. It's a fun build to play around with in expeditions. That's the main... Well, that's my main problem with DD2 is... You know, they did nerfs and a couple of buffs, but I mean, the balance wasn't really there, you know. Looks like we're all good. Anybody needs any? It's around here. Yeah. Anyway, there's so many things that are complete crap in the game, you know. Until we get some content, I won't be grinding DD2 super hard. I'm just gonna be honest. Not doing an update for 2 years and then having no content in the update. I mean, it just... Yeah. Yeah, DDA is well worth the money there, hit scan. My highest Onslaught floor is only like 500 and something. Onslaught's a crap end game system that, to me personally, was no fun because I'm not a e-peener. You got to be motivated by wanting to complete a race to even bother with Onslaught. There's no reward for doing it. It's RNG dependent, so... I mean, RNG dependent difficulty, and it's not a roguelike. If it was a roguelike, I could understand, but it's not. Onslaught's just a crap system. I'm surprised I went to 500, to be honest with you. I was ready to call it done after like 200. It's what lost most of the people in DD2. When they removed the grind for loot and put in the grind for a number on a screen, people started dropping like flies. Yeah, I mean, it's different. Their hit scan, it's definitely different. You can do it, Jacob. It's RNG. You got to get the right lanes. I mean, if you can do 133, there's no reason you can't do 134. The difficulty increase is practically nothing from floor to floor. You can do it, man. You can do it. Well, I mean, most people would say the ideal place to go is to 270. If you get to 270, you got 999 ascension caps. So most people would tell you that. But I personally wouldn't suggest resetting anytime less than, say, like floor 80. The sooner you reset, the quicker you're going to regret resetting. It's not like, you know, the AP rewards are not big, massive power gains that you're like, oh my god, I'm so powerful now. That's not at all how it works. It's all about just getting those ascension caps. You always lose to Berserkers. You might need a little more stun in your build than there, Jacob. Or stay back and watch for Berserkers. You know, if Berserkers are making it through, easy. Stay back by the objective and watch the minimap. When a Berserker starts coming through, go smack it. What's going on there, TJ? How you doing? Berserkers are the sneaky ones. There's no doubt. Best hero? What's up? What's up? I mean, figure 191. Remember too that you're not doing it to get for the AP resets. If you go up to like floor 100, just go into floor 100, the AP resets are going to be just mind-numbingly boring and dull. You're going to be AFK the majority of the time. You know, the running joke used to be the main thing to prep yourself for AP resets is getting your Netflix lineup in order. Because it's complete AFK-ness, you know? Even just pushing to like floor 100. Well, every Chaos tier, you got to counter the enemies that are there. Chaos 5 has enemies that stun, ground traps, R's, and nodes, and have a wave 4 and wave 5 have an enemy with the reflect bubble. So the ideal setup would be like Poison Dart Towers and Earth Shatters. You're going to get some crowd control out of the deal, plus you're not going to have traps everywhere to get stunned. Just playing with the new toys there, Brian. I mean, I do love the game, as much as I bitch about it. You know, I mean, obviously, you don't play something for thousands and thousands of hours if you don't love it, right? As much as I bitch about it, I do love the game. I'm super happy to see that there was an update. I just wish that there was content. Yeah, there's like thousands of hours of videos of doing Onslaught floors on my channel there, Jacob. You could start right there. Start right there. I need to do a quick inventory here. Well, I mean, if you have no idea how to build, you might want to learn how to play the game before you play the game then, Jacob. I mean, that's what the expeditions and stuff are for. Not to call you out or anything, but it's not like you're going to not know what you're doing and instantly jump in and be at floor 500. You got to learn the basics. Learn the counters. Caps lock for the win. God, man, the cluster grind is so intense. Only 4 clusters. Just terrible, huh? Nothing worth keeping there. Well, the game is a game of countering enemies. You learn what the enemies are and what they do and how to counter them. You won the game. That's what the game is. You know, counter the enemies, you win. That's where the loading screens come in. The loading screens have got the enemies listed there, the chaos enemies listed there to counter. Well, I mean, the monk's not really a crowd control hero, but I mean, if you wanted to do something, you could put Storm on your weapon and then use Drenching Strikes. We got all this. Need some more juice. PDT Earthshatter bug fixed? I'm not really sure what bug you mean, Brando. You talking about the Shatterquake bug? That isn't from the PDT at all. I'm not sure if Shatterquake was fixed or not. You would think. I'm not positive, though. Why do I play without a pad? What do you mean? Oh, the material, the crafting material cost is absurd in DD2. It's false gameplay value. They added it in to increase the grind to make it so that it increases the amount of gameplay you get out of the game. The grind is crazy. I mean, 250 clusters to take something up to full Chaos 8? That's insanity. That's like more grind for one single end game item than in any game I've ever played, other than maybe like the extreme rare stuff in World of Warcraft. Actually, I think I had all that stuff. I had 2 Warglaves in Burning Crusades on my rogue in World of Warcraft before, in less time than it would take me to upgrade one Chaos 8 item. Just one item. Nah, I was also the raid leader, so I got prime cuts. Well, I mean, you're looking at calendar time, though. Look at the time it actually takes you to do it, is what I mean. 10 out of 10 on tenacity. It's the same thing. It's a grind. You grind 286 clusters. Grind 286 clusters, and it's GG. I actually trashed a 10 out of 10 tenacity last night. It was pretty hard to do. I got too many that are not tradable, and I just don't need them all anymore. That's exactly what people do, Raiden. Sith Phil. If you look at Steam charts, I guarantee you there's 100 players there. At least 100 players there at all times that are part of a sandboxed team. Hell, one guy was even doing videos on it. I don't remember who it was. I saw a DD2 video and somebody had all 4 of their alts there, or all 3 of their alts in their main. It's like, that's banned material right there. They don't care, but if they did care, that would be a direct violation. They said you can't do more than 2. But, you know, it comes down to enforcement. There's no enforcement, so people do what they want. Well, don't compare a game with rare loot to a game that's grinding a number on a screen there, Renegade. You're not grinding for a 10 out of 10 tenacity. You're grinding for 286 reroll tokens. You get 2 every map. So you're talking 143 maps. You know, and that gets you one mod. One of the 3 mods that you want. You know? I'll farm personally. I mean, it depends on what motivates you. I personally would rather have... I like rare loot. But it's rare loot that there's a chance I could get on the very next run. You know? You got a 10 out of 10 today? I've got 1 still that's tradable, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I don't really care about gold, so I'm not going to bother selling it. But getting clusters would be nice, because nobody is selling those things. I might tell somebody I'm willing to trade it for 200 clusters or 300 clusters or whatever the going rate works out to. Nah, 10 to 10 Fortitude Servo isn't worth much. The majority of the 10 to 10 mods aren't worth much. It's just a few key ones, you know? Defense rate, tenacity, controller, anti-melee is really good. Best thing you ever got was a 9 out of 10, and that's one that you don't even need upgraded. That's stinky. Well, I mean, that's not realistic, Logan, but, I mean, I preferred the game back when there was rare loot. You know, when there was rare loot in the game, and there was no mods, and you grinded for the rare loot, that was the best time in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't pay $25 million for them. That's just too high. The prices right now are inflated because Chromatic did it themselves. The problem is like 1% of the player base has 99% of the gold. So the prices are all blown out just because people can afford it. I mean, I could afford $25 million a stack, but it's more of a principle. A year and a half ago, they were $150 million a stack, you know? Or 150,000 each. So 15 mil a stack. I see Aramir logging in. God, man, the loading times. It's the one thing that I don't miss about DD2 is the loading times. Looks like we all good. Here's some more mana if anybody needs it. Only a trickle. Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. If they would have never done mods, and they could have even kept the shards and the chaos the chaos tiers and expeditions, but if they wouldn't have done mods and they wouldn't have done Onslaught, and instead of giving us this climb floors crap in Onslaught, they would have gave us the endless mode that people actually wanted, and instead of mods you grinded for the rare armor pieces again, and it was targeted farming. You knew exactly where to go to get each armor piece, you know. I think the game would be much healthier now. Controller's pretty good. Their ninja controller or defense rate, I would say. Yeah, rate mod if you don't have a gilded shard, indeed. Yeah, there was an update last week that got rid of winter and changed some things there, Harrison. What's my reset at? I'm done with resets now. I went to 72 to get the little orange dot. Such a stupid reason. No, there's no crossplay, Quasi. Yeah, I completed Mastery the day they released. Back then there was a race to see who could get them. They put out one Chaos tier of Mastery each week for 7 weeks in a row. And it was a race to see who could get them done first. Omni and I got the world first. That's all we really cared about. Well, you can do the exact same thing and throw like an oil geyser in front of it all to add the ignite combo in. will get you into the hundreds of floors still using the exact same old build. Or petrifying explosive traps is extremely powerful. So you could use like 2 proton beams, one with poison, one with earth, 2 explosive traps in the middle of it. You're GG's. The only thing you'd have to really watch for is not just frost lanes, but frost orcs is the only thing you really need to watch for. I sound bored. Well, I mean, I'm grinding clusters in DD2. Explosive traps are part of the new meta, Joe Bob, no doubt. I mean, it was the second most powerful single-hitting defense in the game prior to the update, and it got buffed. So you got the second most powerful defense in the game that got a buff. Yeah, of course it's in the meta. Yep, you should push until you absolutely are disgusted with the game and hate it and want to uninstall. And then you're at the right point, Joel. You want to go as high as you possibly can. So the higher you go, the better off you'll be long term. So grind Onslaught until you're so disgusted that you would rather, you know, throw your console or computer in a lake than play another match. Well, Ignite ignites the enemies, but the new armor stripping thing with the Ignite combo is the meta portion of it. It puts a debuff on enemies where you get another 25% damage multiplier out of them. So damage multipliers are good. The more damage multipliers, the better. Oh, I definitely want to go back to Satisfactory, Brian. In fact, soon, probably. I was hoping that this last update was going to have servers. Dedicated servers. If so, I'm going to try it. Well, I'm going to try to get one sponsored by a company. I don't know if anybody will. But if not, I'll pay for it and get a dedicated server for Satisfactory. Satisfactory is a really good game. They did really good with that. Yeah, you can play high floors with the Abyss Lord. It's not one of the meta heroes, but there's nothing stopping you from using any hero you want. No, I don't think DDA will introduce elements like DD2. I mean, they have a different elemental system that's like DD1. You know? They're not going to change that to DD2's version. Satisfactory is just a good game, Brian. I mean, they've just done really, really good with that game on all aspects. It's super, super fun. It's been very successful. It's definitely just a good, good game. You've heard nothing but bad things about DDA? You probably heard nothing but bad things about DDA from people that haven't played it, would be my guess. It's a really good game. It's well worth $30. You can easily sink 1,000 hours into it. Easily. For $30. How many games out there can give you that kind of value? So, it runs 1,000 times better than DD2. The environmental effects look way, way better than DD2. But it's different than DD2, and because people didn't want a dungeon. Well, DD2 players didn't want a Dungeon Defender sequel. They wanted a DD2 sequel, which DD2 is not like a regular Dungeon Defenders game. Like every Dungeon Defenders game is the same except DD2, you know? And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is people complain because it's not DD2. Now, I'll give you this, though. DD2, the animations and the art style and the models look way better than DDA. No doubt. DDA is the new Dungeon Defenders game that's still being developed. Combine oil and fire. You don't need the Lavamancer. You just have to combine oil and fire. So, I mean, you got fire already. Everybody spams flame auras or some sort of fire damage, right? So the fire is already there. You can just add oil chip to your build if you wanted to. You could play the Huntress and spam the oil flask. You could use ballistas with the shard. I mean, there's lots of options. It's not the Lavamancer that's required. It's just the Lavamancer makes it easy at 20 DU, putting the squirties in, you know? That, and they're called squirties, for God's sakes. Who doesn't want to use them? There's been one update in the last 2 years, Dejan. It wasn't passed down. Well, I mean, the company was bought out. But the game wasn't passed off. It's like, I mean, they haven't confirmed who's working on it yet. But, I mean, it's going to be, it's like 1 or 2 of the Chromatic developers that are working on it, would be my guess. Well, all I know is what they've told us on the PS4. They said this week. I went full range, so I'm using Deadly Strikes, Vicious Strikes, or actually, right now I've got Destructive Pylon on them. And normally I go Defense Rate, Deadly Strikes, and Vicious Strikes. Just to make them big, you know? Figure they're just there to oil the enemies, so I'm not really worrying about any other aspect there. You know, I want defense rate on them, that way they're at the speed cap. But then after that, it's just the more oil, the more enemies it will cover, the better. I was kind of hoping with the change, I mean, it would be really OP, but I was kind of hoping with the change with Ignite that they would put an oil servo in. I think that would be just awesome. That would open up a lot, you know, instead of just having the chip. It would allow people to do, well, I mean, all sorts of things, you know. We'll see. I mean, they'll bring more updates. Air lanes and spectral assault. I would build spectral assault exactly like this. Normally, I'll throw Skyguards up here just for the fireworks show. You put like 2 there and 2 there, and it covers both those lanes. But yeah, you could do Spectral Assault with this exact build and not have any issue. There is no cross-platform play in DD2. There's no cross-platform planned at all. It's not a possibility. So, I mean, there's no update, but they've told us straightforward it's not ever going to happen. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's no update, but there's no update expected. I don't have DD2 codes. I don't have a way to just create DD2 codes. If I did, I'd give them away all the time. Y'all know I'm generous as hell with my stuff. I've completely cleared my inventory of 10 to 10 mods 2 times the last 2 Christmases with this whole Santa juice thing. I'll be doing more flare code giveaways, but that's the only codes I have access to. And even those, I don't, I don't have the ability to just create them. I ask for them, I ask for them and hope they give them to me. This map definitely gets a little boring, but I mean, I think as far as cluster grinding goes, it's the go-to map, It's one cosmetic. No, there's no assortment. It's the juice head flare. I mean, why? I don't have access to other cosmetics. Are you talking about what I'm wearing? I'm wearing all of the Caster's Guild flares. Is what I'm wearing. And then that carnival, I just, still, man, I think that carnival costume for the monk is just one of the best ones. It just looks really, really good. Oops, sorry. Bumped my mic here. You get them from Defender packs or you buy them. I mean, it's free to play, so easiest way to get cosmetics is to pay for them, Guess I could have done one more, huh? Nothing but junk. Yeah, Hypercharge reset. That, in the patch notes where it talks about the Hypershard progression resetting, they weren't talking about upgrading them. They were talking about acquiring them. Where there was a bug that allowed people to get more than one destructive pylon. Well, I mean, there is. You get lots of Defender packs from doing Onslaught, but it's RNG, And RNG hates us. They hate us. Man, no loot at all. Dang it. Oops. Or I hit G. Somebody else didn't. We got everything done. Yeah, it's all built. Sweet. Yeah, I'm on the new machine right now, Uzar. Thing runs good, man. I'm going to do, once I get the studio all finished up, I'm going to do a full studio walkthrough. I ended up running into some problems with the acoustic tiles. I bought them from 2 different vendors on Amazon, and the first vendor, they're super high quality, acoustic foam. The second vendor I bought them from is almost actually the same exact price as the original. It was slightly cheaper, but there was more quantity, and the quality of them is so bad. And it's not even acoustic foam. It's just foam cut into black squares with ridges on them. It's completely cosmetic. So I'm returning those. I'm actually waiting for, I've got them all in a box right here. But yeah, the new machine's here, the desk is here. I got the new mic hooked up too, but I gotta tweak it still. I downloaded, I was using a blue microphones, a blue Yeti. And now I'm using a Shure microphone that's much higher quality. Nah, I mean, Amazon's about convenience. But Amazon is a true measure of you get what you pay for. So unless a product is exactly the same no matter what, getting it cheaper is not necessarily a good thing. Like, I only saved like $2 or $3 by going to this other vendor for these acoustic tiles. And I mean $2 or $3 out of the whole order, not per. You know, they cost about $1 a piece, but I saved like $2 or $3 out of the entire order. But now I got a box that I'm waiting to ship back because they suck. You know, what's going on there, Jerome? David, what's up? Sounds like I'm on your couch. I may be, David. I'm not on your couch, but look outside the window. Not really. I'm not really stalking David. Amazon feels like the middle class Dollar General. That is so true in so many ways. You definitely have to watch what you're buying there. Like these acoustic panels, there's like a dozen different vendors that sell them. And they all basically have the exact same description. And looking at the pictures is, you know, I mean, you can't really tell until you get it in your hand. But with these things, it's all about packing and just the quality of the foam. And the vendor I got the second order of acoustic panels from failed in both departments. You know, these things are highly compressed for shipping, you know. But the ones that I got the second time were like machine pressed to the point where the tiles were almost mutilated. They were so compressed. There was 200 of them in the same size box that the other vendor sent me 48, just to give you an example of the compression level. So they were compressed to the point of mutilation, and they just won't recover, you know. Like it says, leave them out in the open air for 24 hours and they'll recover. Oh no. I left these things out for like 4 days and they didn't recover. You know, so yeah, they got stuffed back in the box. That shit's going back. Nah, I'm on my new system now, Michael. I'm going to get my Season 23 moving along a little bit in Diablo 3 later on this afternoon over on Twitch. And there's a bunch of games I want to play. I want to play that Evil Genius 2 that just came out like a few weeks ago. I've actually got it. I just haven't had time to play it yet. That looks super fun. I'm still just hoping there's going to be some sort of news for Orcs Must Die 3 soon. So hoping. Orcs Must Die 3 is a really good game, y'all. Even on Stadia, it's really, really good. Oh, I don't know anything about the game there, Dizzy, so I'll need all kinds of tips. I'll need all of the tips. Not just one tip. I need all of the tips. I debated on Outriders, but you know, I played that demo. I wasn't necessarily overly impressed as far as a premium product, you know. You're going to pay AAA price. I expect a AAA game, and Outriders didn't feel like a AAA game to me in that beta. All of the Orcs Must Die games are really good, David. You can pick them up for like 75 or 90% off just about every time there's a sale, too. But it can't be much longer. We should hear something. I mean, at the longest, a couple of months. I'm going to have to go back and look on my YouTube history and see when OMD3 launched. Oh, what's free on the Game Pass, Theta? Diablo 3 had that new season that started. There is some, there's some hitching. There's like some, oh, Outriders. Oh, yeah, Outriders is having all those server issues. Nah, there's zero chance of OMD3 dying because of Stadia. In fact, Stadia saved it. They got that Google money, man. All about the bacon, right? You got the money, you can make a good game. Well, they got the money because Google gave it to them, and they made a good game. So there's no chance, that Stadia is going to take OMD3 down. They were very, very smart. Got that cash money up front. Thanks, Sir Kiwi. I appreciate it. Looks like we all good. What was my first? Well, I mean, my first was a console, not a PC. I think I got my first PC. Probably around like the late 80s. Something like that. I mean, my first console was... I'm old, y'all. My first console was the original Atari. Well, DD2 is not really a skill-based game there, Boing. It's just a grind game, so... You're not bad at it, you just haven't put it in the grind yet. There's no skill involved required to play DD2. Zero skill required. Commodore 64 was almost a console. This is true. That's what... I never had a Commodore 64, but I used one in school. I had a computer class. I don't even remember. Like, what year would that be? I don't even know. I was really young. I remember that. Pipes on Windows 3.1. I was all about... Doom back then. I was completely addicted to Doom on 3.1. There was a nerdy guy that, like a computer nerdy guy that lived right next door to me. And, you know, like back in the day, it like took an act of God just to find drivers and stuff. You know, he had like every driver you could imagine cataloged on a floppy disk in these huge files in his little office room. And anytime you needed a driver for something, you went over to his house. And he busted out the floppies and made you a copy and got you your drivers you needed. When was the last time you had to buy CDs? It's funny, I actually... You know, when we just moved, so, you know, there's been some stuff buried for many, many years that has been stuffed in a box in a corner, you know? And, like, we had a box of blank CDs, blank media, you know? And the wife's like, well, what about these CDs, you know? These are good CDs. And I'm like, dear, you know that little tiny thumb drive I give you all the time with stuff on it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's as much on that tiny little thumb drive that's, you could store more on that than in that entire box of CDs. Oh yeah. They're good for throwing. Go a little what, skeet shooting or whatever? They're random. I imagine they would skip very, very well. If you had a nice solid pool of water. I'll deny it to the end. They're dizzy, I'll deny it to the end. You know I will. Oh yeah, no doubt. Speaking of SSDs, why is it that an M2 solid state drive never ever comes with the screw? It's one goddamn screw. Why could they not put it in there? I've bought 3 of those now, brand new, and none of the 3 came with the screw, and my motherboard didn't have the screw in it. That's just so irritating. And it's such a tiny little screw, it's impossible to get. The last couple motherboards I've had hasn't had the screw in the slot. Like the one I got, the last 2 for sure. The one that I had on the PC build I didn't come with the screw, and then the one that I just got didn't come with the screw, and it had all the motherboard accessories too. But yeah, no screw. I got screwed. I got screwed by the screw. I don't know. Who knows? My last one was a Gigabyte motherboard, and this one's an Asus motherboard. But yeah, I had to repurpose. I actually had a talk about old technology. Are you ready for the old technology? When I was running the working in the casinos in Nevada, this is way back when. I had set up a USB thumb drive, like duplicating board where you could just copy. I think it was like 80 thumb drives. You could duplicate like 80 thumb drives all at the same time. And we used them for live concerts because people would buy the thumb drive after the concert, and then we would offer that as a service to the band that was playing there, and they'd give us a cut, or they'd give the casino a cut. But anyway, that was all my private equipment that we used for that, and I found a screw small enough for the little M2 in one of those little USB duplicator rack things. It was like a rack mount setup. You getting this one? Yep, no. Yours is an MSI. I mean, you know, Gigabyte and Asus are both reputable enough that they shouldn't be screwing you on screws, right? Oh, it's really good, Damien. I can't wait to play something that's a little higher quality graphics. I don't even know what to play. You know, what should I play to give this new machine a real test, you know? Most of the games I play regularly don't have super high-end graphics. Well, I mean, my old one could run Crisis. It's a 3060 Ti. I mean, it's a good GPU. It's not like the top of the line, best thing available, but it's the highest quality thing I need, you know? Cyberpunk was pretty. I mean, despite all its issues, it was definitely pretty. Yeah, I'm still setting it up. You know, you get that new machine and you got two choices. Either dig your hard drive out of your old machine or start reinstalling software. So last night I was up until like, I want to say 2 or 3 in the morning just reinstalling things. I still have to. That was why there was no thumbnail. Well, I mean, there was a thumbnail, but there was no quality thumbnail on this stream. Because I didn't download the Adobe products yet. Can't edit a video or make a new thumbnail. It's a 5600X. Oh, no doubt they're diabolical. No doubt at all. That's what I always do too. Fresh installs always feel better. I'm so stoked with this new connection now. I mean, the thought of streaming at a 7500 bitrate with 0 dropped frames was just not even close to a reality for me. Just a few weeks ago. I still haven't gotten over that yet. And how fast it is to upload videos now. Like, I can upload a 15-minute video now, and the video is either done uploading or really close to done uploading by the time I'm done typing in all the description stuff. So awesome. That means they vote kicked you, operator. Yeah, the Nuke Monk got nerfed. Got big nerf. It got a much larger nerf than the, actually, not really. I was going to say, it got a big nerf. Nobody's complaining about it, though. Everybody's complaining about the reflect beams. Nobody cares that the Nuke Monk got smacked down. I mean, I think it might be a matter of everybody realized it was pretty broken. Because it's still really powerful, you know? Even now. The barb is still a beast. The barb nerf affected his survivability a tiny bit, so he went from practically unkillable to very, very difficult to kill. Yeah, the Nuke Monk damage is down to, I want to say, I mean, it ended up in, I mean, that's not, they didn't like directly reduce the numbers, they actually fixed the bugs. That's the thing with the Nuke Monk, is it wasn't necessarily a nerf, it was a bug fix. There was just bugs in the game for many, many years that allowed you to stack all that power up. But yeah, I went from like 1.6 billion down to like, I want to say 400 million, so that's like 25%, like a 75% nerf. But like I said, it wasn't really a nerf. It was more a bug fix than an actual nerf. Nah, reflect beams are still usable. They're just not as strong as they were before. You have to pay a little more attention to how you're placing them now instead of just spamming them around. That's the main difference. Yep, that's it. Stunning Revelations. Yeah, Shocking Rev is no longer a thing. But you get the mod there, Zoomy, just by playing actively on the EV. It will give any map a chance to drop it. So your best bet is expeditions in a 4-player group playing actively on the EV will be your best bet for getting a Stunning Revelations mod. I'm gonna take that roller a minute. Dragon load already dead. There was an issue with a shard and the ancient power. Gert. You could get over 100 million DPS spikes in burst damage on the Dryad before. My Dryad's in campaign gear now, so I'm not even able to check it from the AP resets and the absurd material grind. That's the funny part here. This entire stream today, what have I gotten? 15 clusters so far. It's just ridiculous. Mystify's got some good Dryad builds for sure. Do I think the Shocking Stunning changes was a nerf? No. I mean, it was a nerf to the old system. But it was... I mean, they had to change it to make it usable again. You had people... You can't have two sets of people playing the game. You know, you can't have people who have these things and then people who can never, by any possibility, get those things. You can't do that. Especially a free-to-play game, you know? So, as much as I loved the old Shocking Revelations water combo, it pisses me off that I wasn't able to use it over the last several years because it just felt like cheating. And I understand that that's the only way they could get it fixed. Nah, you need your clusters too there, Petito. I'm not afraid to grind. I'm not looking for any handouts, though. I mean, if anybody wants to sell clusters, I'll be more than happy to buy them. But the cluster grind is real, man. Everybody needs them. That's why you never see them for sale. They're like hardly ever for sale. One of the hottest items in the game. That and reroll tokens. You have quite a few to sell, but don't you want them though, Aramir? Or are you not really going to play it? But yeah, as far as the Weapon Man goes, it was just... I mean, a change was necessary. It was never going to be what it used to be. So if you look at it that way, it was a nerf, but it wasn't. That wasn't a nerf. The Reflect Beam stuff, that's a nerf. The Nuke Monk stuff, yeah, that was a bug fix, but yeah, that's a nerf. You know, there were nerfs. The anti-mod stacking, that was absurd. So, yeah, that was a nerf. Well, I mean, I've got so many accounts with over 1,000 hours, Murphy, I don't even care. I probably got 14 or 15,000 total hours into DD2 now, I'm guessing. Who's that? Somebody from Arizona that I am not talking to. I don't know you, Arizona person. Well, I mean, the buffs were pretty thin. There was more nerfs than buffs, no doubt. People are complaining about the nerfs. Everybody knows they can just move that relic and use it on another defense. That's not the deal. People are pissed because the game went completely busted broken with all these things for 2 years. Over 2 years. And then when they come back to change it, the first thing they do is start smacking stuff down without giving any new content or anything new to do. I mean, realistically, there's only one single thing that's new to do in the entire update, and that's get that Betsy Pet. That gives you, you know, well, depending on your luck, it'll give you 100 hours of play or 20 hours of play or whatever, you know. That's what people are pissed about. It's just people don't know how to, you know. You got to remember that the people that do this work are doing the best they can. They are human beings. They're doing what they think is best for the game long term. They're not like purposely trying to sabotage anyone's experience. But that's the thing with the internet, you know. The internet is like, nope, you guys are going down. We are going to crucify you to the end. You know, that's just how the internet works. My returning player guide for 2020 is still would be the exact same thing as a new one. Is that jank? So, I mean, I probably will make another one at some point, but it's going to be basically the same exact video with a new date on it. I mean, nothing has changed as far as the new player's perspective. It's all the same shit. Yeah, but that's kind of a joke. I mean, how many votes does it even have? I haven't seen it yet. I'm dying to read it. It's... You know, I mean, more power to him, you know? But it's kind of a joke. I mean, come on. I have to read it on stream. I can't. I'm not here to make fun of people. And that's what all that'll end up happening. I mean, 99% of the time, petitions for anything are a joke. There's nothing that's going to come out of it, no matter how many votes you get, unless something is agreed upon up front. So, I mean, it's people getting themselves all worked up into a frenzy for nothing, basically. What's going on there, Cole? The right thing to do is to complain on their forums. And then other people that have a like-minded complaints as you can join in on the bitch fest, and you can turn it into one big old bitch on the forums. That's the right way to complain. You know, if you feel really violated, then call them out on social media too. The EV. The EV2, without a doubt, there's that junk. But it comes down to your favorite, too. I mean, if you think the EV looks crappy, then don't buy it. You know? Well, I mean, people that have been playing, people that are still playing the game that have already played the game for 1,000 hours are addicted to the game. So they're going to keep playing the game there, Damien. Hope there will be a DD3. There will be if DDA is successful. DD2 already failed as a business, remember. Let's see. Oh, wow, filling up that time, huh? Come on, 10 out of 10 mods. Give me something shiny. I want some shiny shit. Nothing shiny there. Nothing shiny at all. So how's Monster Hunter Rise there, Shadow Shot? I know you've been playing it. No BGM today. I don't know what BGM stands for, Murphy. I'm derping. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes, you know? Oh, background music. Derp. Yeah, I talked about it at the beginning. I have to, it's on my old machine. The music I use is all on my old machine. The tower defense aspect of it. There's a tower defense aspect? Really? Huh. I didn't know about that. Well, god dang, you should have told me earlier. It's the whole game? Huh, I just assumed, I guess not knowing anything about the game, I just assumed it was going to be similar to a regular Monster Hunter game. I didn't realize that there was a tower defense element to it. Shit, if I'd have known that, I'd have busted out the Switch already. I got it right over there, in a box on the floor. Being unloved. My poor little Switch. Yeah, definitely. Well, Borderlands 2 is such a legendary game, too, there, Damien. I mean, many people played that game so many hours, you know? Shows the deets on smacking the monster in the face with a sword and a minigun. Very nice. Borderlands 2 is your first ever game? I think many people would agree it's the best of all the Borderlands games. I mean, the original Borderlands was really good too. But the original Borderlands had, you know, obviously didn't have anywhere near the content that Borderlands 2 had. What's going on there, Seth? How you doing? I got a Hyperion tattoo on my leg, so I'm just going to stay out of that whole Borderlands conversation. The game's still being developed there, Zajank, so I don't know. I don't think it'll be here soon, no. Our idea of soon and a developer's idea of soon are very, very different. Oh, I'm doing good there, Seth. I mean, if you're talking soon as in like the next few weeks, nah, it's not going to be here that soon. There's no way. I mean, just look at what they've told us. They've told us there's going to be 4 new maps and 2 new heroes on each episode, and that every Friday on stream, they're going to reveal a new item. So just with that philosophy alone, you got 4 maps and 2 heroes. That's 6 items to reveal. 1 item was already revealed. So it's going to be 5 more weeks just to reveal the items. And then figure the update comes after that. Now, that's not saying the update will be here in 6 weeks. But it might be. It just shouldn't be used. Too many developers use the word soon, and they realize they're completely trolling their fan base, and they don't care. That should be like a blacklisted word. You know? No developer should ever be able to say any word that includes soon. No, in DDA, there's not that level of content ever coming to DD2, Matthias. I mean, DD2 is going to get updates, but it's not going to have content like that. DDA is a game in development. DD2 is a game chasing cash from what's left of the player base. They have no intention to try to bring the players back to DD2, or they wouldn't have. They would have done things entirely differently than what they did. Which, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It would cost too much money, you know, to try to get all the, back when the game had a big player base. Soon is better than a set date. I don't even mean a set date. I just don't think they should use the word soon. I mean, to me, soon means next week. You know? If the wife says, okay, we'll be able to have pizza for dinner soon, I'm thinking that shit's coming in the next day or 2, right? Not 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now. They should just say eventually. I think that's fair. Well, I mean, part of it is the time, you know. Clash dropped an update 4 months early. Nice, nice. Devs overuse the word alpha and beta as well. Absolutely. In early access. I think the definition is going to be, well, in my mind, what the definition would be is alpha. I keep smacking the microphone. I've got it in a different place than I normally have it. Alpha would be a game that is not feature complete and is still buggy. Beta would be a game that is mostly feature complete but still has bugs. But that doesn't get used like that anymore, you know. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, what do you all think the definition of an alpha game versus a beta game would be, you know? Well, I mean, then play something different. How many hours did you get out of it, and what are you expecting to get out of it, Zajank? You know, are your expectations unrealistic? You know, I mean, I've got 1,500 hours in the game, and I'm far from fine-tuned on all of my characters. So everybody picks their finish. You know, it's going to take you, at a minimum, a couple of 100 hours to get through the game and get up to Massacre Mode. But is that your idea of completing the content? I mean, as far as using the meta, that's your call. You don't have to use the meta. It's your game. You do what you want. DDA still needs a lot of work. I'm not going to argue with you there in any way whatsoever. But DDA's got a lot of shit to do if you're a completionist. If your idea of completing the game is just playing through it and playing all the maps, then yeah, go play something else, you know? That's another thing with Dungeon Defenders games. You know, you guys know there are other games, right? It's not you just grind one game for the entire rest of your life. This is not the last game or the first game any of you all have played, and this is definitely not the last. You know, play the game. If you're having fun, keep playing it. When you stop having fun, play something different. No one can take that away from you or add that to you. Something that's fun to me might not be fun to you. Something that's fun to you might not be fun to me. You know? So, I mean, prioritize entertainment. That's what games are, right? Well, I mean, DD1 was a game of grinding rare loot. DDA is a game of grinding rare loot. You know, the thing with DDA has, or the thing that DD1 has that DDA doesn't have, is there's a whole lot more rare loot that people want, you know? Hey, if I don't get my money's worth out of a game, I'm the first one to tell anybody, you know? If I think a game is not worth the money, I will be the first one to say, this game is not worth the money. You can't really say that about any Dungeon Defenders game, though. I mean, DD2 has all the microtransaction crap, but even still, you're going to get lots and lots of hours of enjoyment out of DD2. DD1 you can pick up for pennies and has more overall content than any Dungeon Defenders game. And DDA is still a game in development. But I've gotten more than $30 worth out of the game. And that's what the game costs, is $30. You know? Oh, there's so much stuff in DD1 now with the CDT editions and everything. The video on what rare loot drops would be like an hour-long video. Nobody would watch it all. It'd be too much. It'd be overwhelming amount of information. Well, I mean, you don't use one hero. If you're limiting yourself to one hero, your builds are never going to be as good as you want them to be. So you use the Dryad plus other things. What does the Dryad really shine at? Well, the Dryad really shines at applying Ignite, because you can use Fire Bees and Stay Corrupt. So you would want slimes in front, or Fire Slimes, pardon me, and Stay Corrupt. So you would want Fire Slimes, no doubt about it. Bees are super hard, hard-hitting, single target damage. The Harpies are beasts now, but they're a tower, and towers get blown up by kobolds. It's pretty varied there, Chrissy. Some people are pretty picky. Like, if I make a 20-minute video, almost every time there's comments under the video, people bitching that it was too long. You know? So, I mean, I guess it's to each their own thing. I don't mind watching a longer video, as long as it's entertaining, you know? Oh, that's pretty fair, buddy. That's very fair. I mean, it's never going to have the content that the PC has, but remember you could shit gold and people would say it's not enough gold. This is true. You got to remember the Dungeon Defenders 1 content was heavily worked on by the community development team too. So that wasn't all of that content that's in the game is not all from the developers, you know? Well, that's the thing too. If you're a content creator and you're making a longer vid, just put chapters in your video, and that should make everybody happy. You know, someone who's not interested with all the details and just wants jump right to the build, like my hero spotlights. some people would just rage about that, and then 15 minutes later they're asking me a question that I answered in the video. It's because they didn't watch it. You know, if I was to redo Hero Spotlights now, I would definitely timestamp the shit out of the video and put chapters all through it. You know, people want to be told what to use, like in the Hero Spotlight thing, in under 60 seconds, but then they don't know how to use it properly. And they could have learned how to use it properly in that longer video that they refused to watch. So, I mean, it's one of those things, you know. YouTube does have tools now where, like, with the chapters and stuff, it's super easy to get the chapters in. You just timestamp it in the description and it auto-places them. So, any long videos that's not using chapters now, the content creator probably could have done better, you know? It's just one of those things, trying to find that happy medium, you know. Not everybody's going to be happy. Just trying to find that happy medium that will, you know, keep your current viewers happy and then hopefully bring new ones in. Come on, loading screen. Be over with already. Math time. No, it hasn't made it to PS4 yet, Jeff. We're still waiting. They said this week on consoles. They haven't said anything else about the PS4 yet. It's probably just a matter of waiting to get through the certification. It varies by defense, Marcel. Some defenses it's better, some defenses it's worse. It depends on the range scaler of the actual stat number. Yeah, the update came out yesterday on Xbox, but not on PlayStation yet. I haven't, unless I missed something, I haven't seen them say anything. About any expectations. Yeah, I think on the flame armor, I mean, it's pretty easy to check. It's the one tooltip number that is actually correct. So just, you know, pop in your deadly strikes, look at the range stat. Pop it out, pop in your vicious strikes, look at the range stat. I'm pretty sure auras are less, though. I'm gonna buy them. I can't buy them during the combat wave. It would be probably 2 proton beams, one with poison and one with earth there, Damien. Or one with water and one with storm. I've been using weapon mans just because I'm forcing myself to use weapon mans because I like the defense so much. I want to, you know, kind of making a reason. So I've been going with a poison weapon man and an earth proton beam. Mass destruction is the one you get for completing them all. Regular destruction is Chaos 1. Mass destruction is 155 stars or completing all of the primes. Yeah, the problem with Ramsters are they get destroyed. I mean, as far as like doing like below floor 100 and doing expeditions or whatever, you can use literally anything you want. But the problem going into the harder difficulty content is Ramsters just get blown up. That, and they're just crappy damage. They get no upgrade value. They're really good damage if you're gonna play actively on the Abyss Lord and control them. They put out nice damage, but shy of that, they're crap. They get really, really poor upgrade value as well. I mean, they're super good for applying an element to a lane. Or Mass Destruction is 55. Yeah, Mass Destruction is the first one. It's the first one in Mastery and the last one in Primes. I was thinking Vicious. Well, weapon manufacturers are not supposed to be a DPS tower is the thing. Yeah, it's 50 and then 155. 50 is the first one, 155 is the second one. I mean, weapon manufacturers are not designed to be a DPS tower. I mean, just the fact that you can't upgrade them instantly removes them from any real high-end DPS potential. A defense that you can upgrade is always going to be better, you know? They're just there to look super cool and to kind of blanket cover an element. And you see, like, mine is doing Storm, and then I got Water Elemental Shard. Well, I mean, Lightning Strike auras are single target damage, so you'd want to use those for boss lanes. So you'd want anti-mini boss, controller, and probably anti-melee would be the best three. But, you know, it depends on exactly how you're using them. Yeah, Hypercharge reset. That was worded pretty poorly on the patch notes. Your Hypershard progress does not get reset. Your Hypershard gets reset. But it was the way it was worded, it's a little confusing. A lot of people have misunderstood what that meant. I don't even know what to try to upgrade first. I mean, I'm so far away from trying to upgrade anything still. That would be the biggest spike in monetization they could give the game, as if they put in a crafting material shop. I think people would go straight for their credit cards if there was a crafting material shop. I mean, when you're doing AP resets, just do what you want. Do whatever you need to do to eliminate the boredom. If they sold mods, they couldn't really sell mods though. I think that would be too pay to win. I mean, just the shard shop alone is pretty damn pay to win. But it is stuff that you can get without paying, so it's not like it's a paywall or anything. DD2 would make a shitload of money if they added in a match shop. There's no doubt at all. If they sold crafting materials for real money, they would make a shitload of money. Zero doubts whatsoever. And it's the same level of pay to winness as the shard shop. It's stuff that you can grind out if you want to grind it out. I mean, think about Guild and the Destruction Shard. You know, you can straight up buy them. Now you can buy that 11 pack. You know, you can straight up buy it or you can grind it out. But as far as grinding goes, that's a long grind just to get one Gilded Destruction Shard, and you want a bunch of them, right? You don't want one. You want 12 or whatever. Need anything else? Nope. Looking pretty good. Oh, I grinded quite a few Gilded Destructions. Many. I mean, I can't even tell you how many shard packs I've opened from finding shards. I mean, I used to not even open them. Like, you'd do a full page. You would grind out a full page of them before you even bothered opening them. Is how a lot of people used to do it. Well, that's the thing, is the Petrify combo is actually better. So even the deal with the legacy weapon manufacturers is not everybody could have them, and they were bugged and would work on any defense. You could throw them on any defense. That's what was wrong with it. The Petrify combo is better. If they would have never taken the legacy weapon man stuff out of the game and added the Petrify combo in, people just would have naturally stopped using it. It wasn't that it was better. You know, it wasn't great. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't as good as Petrify. So, I mean, the problem is just a new player couldn't make it, and it was bugged, and you could use it anywhere. Lots of cheddar involved with that. Well, 286 rerolls guarantees you a 10. You can do whatever you want there, Joel. You can spread them around, or you can dump them all into one. Doesn't matter. It's bound by account. The accounter, that's been confirmed by developers, too. It's per account. So, like, if you roll 100 times on, say, an anti-melee, and then you want to roll on, say, a defense rate instead, 186 more rolls on the defense rate would guarantee you a 10 out of 10. Do 20 AP resets and you got your 2 times gold and XP there, Terrell. Easy fix. All the Dungeon Defenders games really could use better tutorials. There's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, luck happens too. I rolled past I think it was an anti-melee on my Lightning Strike Aura relic. I rolled past the 10 out of 10 on that. and then I got it again after like 10 or 11 rolls. That's the shortest or the most luck I've ever had. And unfortunately, I ended up just saving a bad situation instead of actually being lucky. Because I had derped and rolled past, you know. Well, there's a whole lot of stuff in the game that's similar to that, for sure. Lots of stuff that falls under that same category. I rolled, yeah, I don't even know how many mods I re-rolled. I wish there was like some sort of tracking for that stuff that you could see. How many lifelong maps you've done, how many times you've re-rolled, etc., etc. That would be cool as hell if there was some sort of tracking for that. I'm guessing I've probably done, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 mod re-rolls probably. That's a guess, but I mean, I would certainly think it's probably more than 3,000. Well, you got that level of luck there, Matthias, and you wasted it on a video game. Your odds of getting a 10 out of 10 rate and a 10 out of 10 tenacity in one run are probably harder odds to hit than winning the lottery. You should have won a lottery ticket instead. You had a big opportunity, man. You missed it. You blew it on a video game. I don't know. There, Jeff. I'm guessing like 14,000, 15,000 probably. Right where you would upgrade them. Well, you can't re-roll shards. But you re-roll a mod on an item right where you upgrade it. So say I wanted to re-roll... What? Say I wanted to re-roll this mini-boss chip. I would go to re-roll, select the mini-boss chip, and then re-roll it. Let's see if we got any loot here. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of re-roll. You can recycle. I dumped a bunch of shard dust yesterday trying to get that that new buff beam shard gilded. All right, let's see what we got. Anything good up in here? Looks like nothing today, huh? Can't get a damn thing. The new buff beam shard is boosted beam. It's like boosted power, except for the buff beam instead of the booster. Not a damn thing. Boo. Look at my heroes exclamation spotlights in chat there, Marcel. All that is all done and on my channel. It's been there for years. Why is it not letting me communicate with the bank? I got some kind of server disconnect or something going on, maybe? What the hell? It'll let me talk to him, but it won't let me open the bank for some reason. That is so weird. I'm spamming the button. No luck. What's going on there, Citro? How you doing? That is actually going to get it for DD2 for today. I'm going to take a short break and have a little lunch, and then I'm going to stream over on Twitch, but I'm not going to stream DD2. I'm going to stream Diablo 3. So, anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out. Anybody that wants to see me struggle through the starting stuff, I'll be live on Twitch here in just a bit. So, I want to have a little lunch or something first, and I'll be back in a bit. So anyway, thanks a ton, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you soon. New stream schedule coming soon. Take it easy.